question, Roland. Just really your advice. I feel since last weekend, I've really been pulled in a couple different ways. We did uh, a challenge at Epic to text a bunch of people and just get updated.
Yeah,
From that, I actually have three opportunities, and I just know my bandwidth isn't going to be able to take all of them.
yeah.
Um, so I'd like to get your advice. One is I I've really wrapped my head around the roll-up opportunity. I actually have a couple companies in LOI that are doing about 1 million in revenue.
Hmm.
Uh, but the other two opportunities that came my way are not roll-up, they're not acquisition. I have a buddy who is in the pest control door-to-door recruiting space.
Okay.
He last year he put on $21 million, and he wants to get into building his own brand, but he's not an operator. I am an operator. So he hit me up after I texted him and told me what he's looking to do and asked if I would be able to come in and see if we could find either a firm or something to help fund that growth.
Hmm.
Um, and it seems a little bit bigger than what it's definitely bigger than what I've done in the past. I've only operated in eight different locations, 6 states, but that seems exciting for me. So I'm curious to know your advice on that, where it's not acquisition focused. The other opportunity I have is uh, a business owner down in Nashville. He's selling a roll up that he did in the parking servicing space, and he's looking to start something in the uh, basically a blend of home inspection and handyman recurring revenue space. Um, and he has his own funding for that, but he's also looking for the operator. So a lot of different directions. I really want to just kind of focus on one and tackle it. So I'm curious to know your advice on that.
Yeah. So in terms of the first one, I like the first one because he's already going. The second one is a startup, even though it's a good person with a good track record and everything. You're going in as an operator in a startup, so
Mhm.
I don't like that as well, just because that will have a ramping time, right, to
Yeah.
make happen. I think you said he's doing it as a roll up, so the first company that they acquire, you'll have revenue. So it's not like he's saying, let's go start that business from scratch. Um, so I guess it's just what is more interesting to you, and do you have to choose, because will it take 100% of your time if you go with your buddy with the pest control business, or could you be more of a strategic advisor that helps to put the operations team in place? Think of yourself as like, a launch team. What I'm going to come in for this period of time, and I'm going to help get that all in place and systematized, and then I will oversee it, but I won't be an employee of the company. And so my contribution is that, and then that's what I'm doing for my CFE. So I'm not the guy who's going to be in there every day, 9 to 5 or 9 to 9 or whatever it takes, but I will accomplish getting everything set up, getting systems in place, overseeing, handling, recruiting for the team and all that kind of stuff, as a business partner. And that's what you do for the CFE for that. And I kind of feel the same way about the second one, is that shouldn't take all your time, because if you're acquiring uh, existing operational companies and you're doing the same kind of thing, there's operations there. I'll assess the operations. I'll help with operational due diligence. We'll look at opportunities to optimize, and then that team will operate and we'll go on and do the next one. I'm not sure you couldn't do both of those deals,
Yeah.
as long as you communicate that correctly, and you feel good about that as well. The cool thing about the 21 million that you hadn't seen that before is that even though you haven't operated maybe at that level, the operator you find can have operated at that level, and you'll still bring tremendous value because you speak the same language, and you know how to know if they're doing what they're doing, which is actually a pretty good check and balance for anybody that you do a CFE with.
Yeah, the financial that's the one that I think excites me the most because it's
Yeah.
rural, and I know that network of to find those operators,
Yep.
build that brand. But the financial lift on that is beyond my network. Where
Yep.
do you recommend I turn to see if there's a fund
Well,
or
if it's already going, then it's growth capital. So you go out and hit the growth capital market. There's a bunch of companies that do that. You'll just want to find one. If it's pest control for home services, then it would be somebody that's specializing in home services. And if the numbers are there, that or debt is both out there and available, and you can kind of take a look and see, which is good. But that's something, we could talk with them. You might do a consult with the guy and say, let me do a consult. We could do that together, or you could do it, but to understand what do they have and then what is the right way to go, because equity for that through growth capital will be very expensive in
Mhm.
that you'll be giving away equity when maybe if you could support debt because it's profitable enough, that would be a better way to go. Or maybe he's got enough equity in the company now that you could do a recap and basically get some that way. So there's like a few things on the spectrum that he could do to generate the capital to do that. We just need to know more about it. And that's a perfect opportunity for you to say, the way I do that is, with a half day consult, and then we come in and do all the things that need to be done.
Okay. All right. I'll look to set that up. That's a good next step. Right now, he's farming out all of the 21 million to other companies.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have his own brand and he wants to get away from that and build his own brand in-house. And that's the difficult part.
And
So,
potentially it might just make sense to acquire the companies that he's farming it out to, right? They already know that he's good at generating leads, depending on the level of dependence that they have on him. That's a perfect situation to think about going and acquiring the people. It's effectively a vertical acquisition going down, the chain from lead supply to fulfillment. And so
okay.
those would all be natural acquisition candidates to look at.